When discussing what the mind is and what it has to do with cognitive psychology, Dennett describes the mind as a system of intentional thought that processes information and forms awareness, aligning closely with the goals of cognitive psychology. Dennett compares our mind to a computer because of the way it processes information and how it forms intentions. I like the comparison, but if I were to compare it, I would say our brain is like a computer and our mind is like a software. I think that they are linked together, but we have no software without a computer, and so I believe we have no mind if we have no brain. The mind and brain go hand in hand in our life. They work together to ultimately create faster problem-solving skills, regulate emotions, etc. Our brain is like our problem solver that will help us get through stress and problems, for example, while our mind is helping our brain by understanding the problem and answering it, so it makes it easier for our brain to know what we need to fix. It's like having a physically gifted person, which would be our brain, matched up with an intellectually gifted person, which is our mind, to solve problems. The brain does the work while the mind gives the brain purpose, direction, and wisdom on solving situations. Our mind, in Dennett's eyes, is a biological system that is not separate from our body but is consistently updating, learning, and evolving through our decisions and experiences. Our mind and brain strengthen each other. If we strengthen our brain and take steps to heal and protect our brain, which would include good sleep, nutrition, and activity, we can allow our mind to think more smoothly and to think deeper while holding more information and upping the workload. This connects back to the computer and software comparison by saying that the more expensive the computer and more advanced it is, the faster and smoother the software runs and the more space it can hold. Clark touches on how the mind connects to cognitive psychology, but takes it a bit further than Dennett by saying that the human mind extends beyond the brain through interaction with tools and technology, reflecting cognitive psychology's focus on how humans process and use information. Clark is saying that not only does our mind work inside our brain, but it also exists outside of our body. Clark mentions that humans are natural-born cyborgs because of the way our brain naturally merges to our surroundings and to technology. An example of this is when we use our Notes app on our phone or even write down things on calendars. We are extending our mind to other devices when we write notes down to help remember and build those notes in case we might forget something. We extend our mind to our phones in a way, and when we write things down on our calendar, we are using our tools we have to help us remember just in case we forget, or to put less stress in our mind by subtracting one thing from our memory so we can add more. In recent years, humans have extended their mind into their phone, but it's something that has happened throughout human history, going all the way back to when we used to write things, draw, or even carve things into walls for our memory or for expression, to more recently when we use things like calendars or on the wall or whiteboards to help us remember tasks or objectives in our lives, to most recently now where a lot of people use their phones to remember things such as notes, calendars, or even home pages having quotes or pictures of loved ones to help us remember how we should be feeling, how we should be carrying ourselves throughout the day, and even to remind ourselves of our reason we get up every day and live life. Cognitive psychology aims to understand how humans think, learn, and remember, and both authors' ideas support that, while Dennett focuses on how the mind operates as an internal system of information and intention. Clark expands by adding that the mind is also external, by explaining that cognition continues through the tools we are exposed to. In conclusion, both Dennett and Clark show that the mind and brain pair together and are inseparable, each revealing two sides of how we think. Dennett's belief is that our mind is an internal source that manages, processes, and analyzes information. He viewed our brain and mind much like a computer in the way it functions, which allows us to grow through experiences, problem solve, and to create purpose. Clark's beliefs build on Dennett's, but take it a step further by mentioning that our thinking doesn't stop with the brain but expands outward into the world through memory aids and tools, which allows our thoughts to continue and evolve. Together, it shows us that cognition is both internal and external, which is shaped by the brain's strength and the mind's adaptability. Therefore, the human mind is not only an internal activity, but also an external connection to the world we live in.